Hey everybody! Now something that is very close to my heart because of my own experiences, and everybody that I meet out cycling has a story to tell, and many people are suffering from or have experienced anxiety, depression and that kind of thing. Now it's a tough topic to touch on, but I have wanted to bring it up on the show because I know a lot of people are dealing with this. So when I virtually met Paul, we started talking and he shared his story, and he's now cycling around Australia. He cycled 10,000 kilometres to raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention after his own suicide attempt. And when you hear his story and the way that he talks and he's risen, I suppose, above this or through this, it's really inspiring. And I think it touches something in all of us, especially if you're a cyclist, because a lot of us, this is why we cycle. I'll just come out and say it. So yeah, so tune in and listen along, because it's really amazing to hear Paul's story and the way that he talks. So thank you, Paul, for being on the show.
Thank you very much for letting me be on the show.
So you've ridden 10,000 kilometres to get here.
That's
Adelaide.
correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, where did you start riding?
Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
And that was 10,000 kilometres ago, back in June. It's been amazing, absolutely amazing. The people I've met, it's been fantastic. Everywhere I've been, and now I'm here in Wellington, outside of Adelaide. It's been beautiful.
It's a beautiful place here.
Absolutely, stunning.
And there's a baby, your baby.
And my best friend.
Which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
So we'll go straight into it if you don't mind. Yeah, so you attempted suicide.
Yes, I had a marriage breakdown and took it really badly, as a lot of people do, and it happens everywhere, I'm sure. I attempted suicide. I couldn't deal with it, but fortunately the Royal Flying Doctor flew me from Esperance to Kalgoorlie, and I went into hospital, had some procedures, then into rehabilitation. And after rehabilitation, and during rehabilitation, I started to get back on the bike, as it were, and getting back on the road, as it were, and the right road as well. And it was phenomenal how incredibly successful the exercise was that I was taking. With exercise and encouragement and education, I'm a much better person than I was 5 years ago. And a lot of it's down to cycling, just down to cycling. It's improved my life immensely, probably saved my life. I can't speak more highly of it than it's amazing. It's amazing thing, cycling.
Going from recovering from a suicide attempt to cycling, explain that.
So I thought to myself, when was the happiest time of my life? Pre-trauma, and that was when I was cycling as a young fella 40 years ago in the hills in Northumberland, above Newcastle in England. And I asked myself, right, when was the next time? And that was when I visited here, Australia, in 2003, 20 years ago, and travelled around Australia and decided to emigrate here. So what I thought was, right, I'll put those two things together. What can be better than the best things in your life? Put them both together and cycle around Australia, and hopefully raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention in the process, and possibly raise some money for the Royal Flying Doctor, who helped me, and both the health campuses in Kalgoorlie and Esperance. Pretty simple, really. And 10,000 into it, and 17,000 left to go. So nearly halfway. It's
amazing. It's just amazing that you've got this far, and that you went through that experience, I suppose, and you didn't give up. You had people supporting you.
I had heaps of encouragement from medics, physicians, counsellors, people who were so empathetic to what was going on. And when I suggested what I wanted to do, they helped that as well, and they pushed it with the media and everyone, and who could help, and they've really helped me. Hopefully I can just help one or two other people as well, and maybe a few more, and who were in a similar sort of situation, or been in a similar sort of situation, or going through a similar sort of situation.
And so with cycling, what does that do for you? So we all have this anxiety and depression, and people going through this, and so then how does cycling help you with that?
When one exercises, we know that there's the endorphins and the chemicals released into the brain and from the brain and into the body are hugely important and a feel-good factor. Cycling works on everything. It works mentally. If you're exercising mentally, you're exercising physically, you're exercising mentally. With them, they're both one together. Once they're together, things start working out really well. And doing it day after day after day after day, it becomes a routine, but it becomes a beautiful routine. It becomes something one wants to do again and again and again. That's my best friend. That saved my life, really. I relate cycling to life in general. We can go down the right road, we can go down the wrong road, we can go too quickly, we can go too slowly. We don't get to our destination on time if we go too slowly. If we cycle quickly, we've got a chance of falling off. We've got to watch cars, we've got to be careful of which direction we're going. Similar to life, we've got to be careful. But also look after our bike, look after ourselves, look after everything around us. Be wise, be aware of the surroundings, be aware of other things on the roads. If not on the roads, be aware of the terrain, and similar in life as well.
So the feelings and emotions that you had before your suicide attempt, and then afterwards now you're riding around on your bike, do you still get those feelings, and how do you deal with them? It's
a big learning curve, and it's a process. With the encouragement and education that I've had, I've forgiven everything that's happened in my life. And it's another step forward. I'm probably a better person for it happening, because I've learned to address it. And basically, every morning that I get up, I want to get on the bike. But I understand now that that's what's fixing it. That's what's fixing the problem that I had. I wasn't exercising, I wasn't riding the bike when this happened. But now that I am riding the bike, I'm a better person. I'm a much better person. It's incredibly therapeutic to be out there in the fresh air, in the wind, in the rain, in the sunshine, in everything, in all different weathers, in the heat, in the cold. It's so therapeutic that one just becomes at home with it, and at home being out in the middle of Australia, just cycling around. It's fantastic.
It's incredible the resilience that cycling gives you, isn't it? Because you like you were saying before, like you go down this road and then there's this massive climb, or you've got to cross a river, or you went down the wrong road and you got lost and then you've got to find your way back. And nobody else can do that for you. You're doing it for yourself.
Do it yourself.
And so you're the one pushing the pedals, you're the one doing the 100 kilometres every day or whatever it is. And then that overlays into life, because it's building those pathways in your brain.
Yeah.
So then when life happens, you're like, okay, brain's like, I've been here before, maybe on the bike, but I know I can navigate this life problem. And
absolutely.
That's what it does, isn't it? It's retraining your brain and giving you that strength and that resilience.
Absolutely. And it's just one tiny little step at a time, or one tiny little turn of the pedal at a time, one after the other, in the correct direction, in the right direction, as in life, one step at a time, one tiny little step at a time, in the correct direction.
Yeah.
You've got a choice to make. You can go one way or you can go the other. You can go in the wrong direction or the correct direction. And if one goes in the correct direction, one step at a time, one turn of the pedal at a time, we'll get to where we want to be. We'll get to our destination.
And it might take a long time.
It may do.
But you're still going to get there. And you're
absolutely.
doing it because you're the one that's pushing the pedals. Nobody else is doing that for you, isn't it?
And everyone's the same. Everyone can do it.
An amazing experience that you otherwise wouldn't be having. If your attempt had been successful, you would not be experiencing
That's
this
absolutely
amazing
true.
life.
Yeah. And it's incredible. It's incredible that one can go from such a terrible situation to such a marvellous one in a short period of time, and just through exercise, simply through cycling.
The bike was given to you, and we'll have a look at the bike soon, but the bike was given to you on loan.
The bike was loaned to me by a lady in Kalgoorlie called Tanya Richardson. Amazingly similar surname to myself, but through sheer coincidence. And I adapted it slightly and altered it and added panniers and bits and pieces to it so I could accomplish what I was setting out to do, or try to accomplish what I'm setting out to do. And it's been amazing. And that's it there. So.
We'll have a look soon, but we also need to do a special shout out, I think, to Kim at North Adelaide Cycles, he's the one who's sorted out my bike, and he's helped you a lot.
He has.
Yeah.
And Red Centre Outback Cycling in Alice Springs as well, and Wellington Hotel and Wellington Caravan Park, River City Trailers, who've employed me while I stay here to get some more funds to carry on with the trip.
And then where are you going after here?
We're going down the Great Ocean Road, and then up to Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and then across the top end to back into Three Ways, and then north to Katherine, back over the top end into Cunnanorra, and then into Broome, back down the middle, back down the interior into Tom Price, Newman, and then Leonora, and then back to Kalgoorlie where I started last year.
Yeah.
And that would be 27,000.
I was going to say, how many kilometres would that be? 27,000?
27, approximately. And fingers crossed.
That's amazing.
And legs. And,
What a journey. And so do you have days where you wake up and you're like, I mean, you've ridden like 100 kilometres, you sleep in your tent, you're too hot or it's been raining, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to do that. What?
No, never, ever. never, ever. It's crazy. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes saying, is it not light yet? Is it not light yet? Please, will the sun come up so I can get back on the bike? It's crazy. It's an addiction. It's an absolute addiction. It is. It's the best, but it's the best addiction in the world.
Yeah, we were talking.
And we get withdrawal symptoms by not doing it as well, just like any other addiction.
If you're going to be addicted to something, be addicted to cycling.
Yeah. It makes everything else possible as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And so what would you say to other people who are going through hard times at the moment and who might be, considering suicide, or they've got, they're dealing with depression and anxiety?
For me, I took one step at a time, one tiny little step at a time. And that was getting out there and just cycle for 15 minutes and then half an hour and keep doing it, repetition, day after day after day, and try to do a little bit more every day. Try to do a little bit more. Don't try to put it off. Have a rest, but just keep at it. Keep nibbling away, like a little Pac-Man. Just keep nibbling away at it, and it eventually one starts to become attached to it and want to do it more and more and more. And when one becomes fitter and mentally fitter and physically fitter, it becomes a huge addiction. You want to do it more and you want to enjoy it more, and it becomes enjoyable. 120 kilometres a day sounds sometimes crazy and sometimes in the 40 odd degree heat, but it's an enjoyable experience, and it's an enjoyable task to get from A to B in such weather conditions. But it's I can't emphasise how important just cycling it is, cycling and getting out there. And I'd encourage everyone to do it, anyone and everyone.
Shall we check out your bike and show everybody your bike? Because it's really packed up and it's very cool. There's some cool stories I want to show people that. Let's go have a look, yeah. Okay, this is your baby.
This is the one.
Do you have a name for her, him?
Oh, just my best friend, I think. Just my best friend.
So take us through what you've got here.
So we've got a sleeping bag under there, we've got a tent, and we've got a little lilo, and that's wrapped up. We've got the clothing in the bottom, we've got the first aid kits, we've got the water on the back, we've got water here, water here, water here, water here, and more water underneath. We've got a solar panel on the top there.
Oh, and you've got a story with the solar panel, tell us.
So this was found in Kalgoorlie, lying on the side of the road, in a ditch. I passed it numerous days, day after day after day, and then decided, right, I'm going to have a look at this. Picked it up, and it worked. So we adapted this. This is from this cover here was made by Fiesta Canvas in Kalgoorlie. Brendan Dowell and Sharon Dowell. They have covered everything up, made it really, really watertight. We've got a helmet there, and the lamps, front and rear.
And you have a story on this one as well.
Found this one lying near Dongra in Western Australia. Unbelievable, in pieces, put it back together, and it worked as well. So that was incredible. Red Centre Cycles, they supplied all this gear for me back in Alice Springs. The panniers, I adapted the frame here on the back here to take the panniers. A little bit of a makeshift job, but it seems to work. Done 10,000 k's now, well nearly 11,000, but it seems to be working. And more bungee ropes than you can shake a stick at, couple of spare tyres. An important thing, the music as well.
What's your favourite music?
Well, it's Billy Ocean.
I don't know.
Red light is danger.
I don't know if I know it. You're going to have to send it through to me.
I will do.
Yeah.
It's an amazing song. I love it. Yeah.
And why? Does that keep you going? Or
it does. It keeps me going.
Yeah.
Red light spells danger.
Yeah.
And pretty much what it says as well.
Yeah.
You know, stop at the red lights.
Definitely remember to stop at red lights. That's good advice. I like that. And you're on Strava, you were saying. So can people follow you on Strava?
They certainly can.
So how can they find you on Strava?
So it's Paul Richardson.
Do you reckon I can have a little ride? And
Absolutely.
see if I can ride? I want to see how heavy it is. As if I can ride.
What I'll do is I'll zip that up.
Because how much does it weigh? 50, did you say?
I think between 50 and 60 kilos, depending on how much water I'm carrying. But usually carrying about 16 litres in outback areas, particularly down the middle of the red centre and that. Yeah.
So I just hop on and ride it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no tricks or anything. This has got all of Paul's life. This is his whole life here. This is your life.
In there.
You're like a turtle.
I am.
All right. Even just holding it, it's heavy. So I just put my leg over here, and I don't know if I can ride this. Do you reckon I can ride it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a hold of it.
Okay, and then just start riding?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Hang on. Maybe I should go on the grass. No, it's going to topple. Hang on. This is really hard actually. This is really hard. Okay, because I feel like I'm going to go. No. No. I can't ride it. I don't want to crash. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Are you still holding it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my goodness, guys. I'll just ride back that way. Are you still holding it?
No.
Oh, should I go on the grass? Oh, hang on. No. I can't ride it. I mean, I'm sure if I took some time and practiced, but that's, it's really, I don't know how to balance it. It's very strange. It feels really strange. I kept feeling like I was going to go this way or that way, and I'm glad you were holding that. That's, and so you sit and ride this.
We'll see if I can get on it, because it's been a little while since I've got
Time goes slowly, the world gets lonely, when you got no one on your side. You gotta love one another, sister and brother, 'cause you only got one ride.
How are you doing that? Does it feel hard to hold up for you?
No, it feels so good. It feels amazing to have weight behind me. It's really strange.
I can't believe you can ride. That's impressive. Like, that's a skill in itself, riding something that's got that much weight on it. If you jumped on Fuji, you probably wouldn't be able to, because she's so light. You'd be like, what is that? What?
It is like that. It is like that. Once you take the weight off and then you start to ride something that isn't heavy, it's amazing. I'm all over the place. I'm like, what's going on
You
here?
get blowing and somebody go, and you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so if people want to follow you, because you're going to continue on this amazing journey, they can follow you on Facebook.
Yeah, Paul Richardson,
Okay.
Riding to Recovery, and Paul Richardson, Kalgoorlie.
Yep. And on Strava as well.
On Strava as well.
Yep. So you're available for
Absolutely.
talks and things like that. So in little towns that people are watching, that they can get in touch and get you to come and talk.
Particularly Headspace, which is a brilliant organisation, and Hope Community Services in WA, and hopefully can speak at each community services office such as Headspace around the country, and just try to bring a bit of awareness for mental health and suicide prevention, and hopefully help just one person even.
It's amazing.
Cheers.
I'm going to give you a big hug from everybody for everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. All right. Bye, but make sure you follow.
it's incredible how fit you become and how you want to do it time and time again. It's brilliant. It's the best thing in the world. It's beautiful. I love it.
You gotta love one another, sister.